Hello and welcome back to Stranded D, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this island we are making. We are on the PC version of the game, the Steam version of the game, and I'm just going to run through the controls for anyone who missed them. We are using W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, Q to go down, E to go up. We are pushing and holding the right mouse button to pan the camera around, but that's not all. If you bring out the aeroplane from the toolbox, we are using R to rotate, T to transform, C to clone, delete, deletes, and if we select something and press F to focus, well, that sends us all the way back here, but if we select something smaller and focus on it a little closer. Yep, focus is based on the size of the object. Let's get rid of that. Boop, gone. And now, with lots of objects on the map, there are a few caveats we need to go through. One of which is the lack of constant velocity for the camera. When you are out over the sea, you are fairly free, fairly quick. As soon as you get close to the land, the camera will start to slow down. But when you get close to a bunch of objects, you'll have a little phenomena that kind of looks like the camera is at full speed, and it kind of looks like lag. Yep, there it goes. Can you do anything about that? No, you cannot. There is no constant velocity for the camera whatsoever. There is another little caveat, 3 of them to be exact. First of all, the Nana plant, once darling of the botanical world in Stranded Deep, a structural plant that you can poke on rocks all over the place. We're having a hard time selecting it. Like an incredibly hard time selecting the Nana plant. It is still a good plant to use, but it will drive you insane if you don't get its placement correct first time. The other issue, if we go to terrain objects so we don't have anything selected, the other issue is if we scroll down to the wrecks, let's find Shipwreck 3A. Shipwreck 3A, hello Shipwreck 3A, you are completely invisible. It's there, and if we were to save this island and go back into it in the main game, you'd see the wreck, but in the map editor it is completely invisible. Why? Dude, I don't know. And one other item to be very scared of. And that's Shoreline Rock 1. Shoreline Rock 1 we can pull out of the panel, but it's one of those things, again, if you don't get its placement right first time, it's incredibly hard to select ever again. In fact, it's so hard to select, I don't really use it. I'm going to get rid of that. Anyway, last time we were beautifying our skywalk. We have a footbridge, and what we did is we built it a couple of episodes ago, and then last episode we turned it into a bit of a nature walk, which is amazing. It is a beautiful. It is actually 2 sections of metal walkway, here and here. In order to get the length, we have measured the height using a raft and 2 doors. That's tall enough to get a raft underneath with full sail. It is a broken walkway, as in it doesn't go in a straight line. It gets to this point and then you have to sort of walk down onto this lower area. And then you're back onto the beach down here. And in order to stop people just wandering off into the sea, we've put some trees and a little wrecked rowboat. Now, what can we do? We need to work on the island as a whole. And the island as a whole has a lot of water going on. Yes, it is very wet, which may be good depending on how you live your life, but for us, maybe we need to do something. I'd like to work on this river, but my subconscious, the bit of my brain that's kind of working on the map in the background, is saying, no, we've got to come over here and do something. This side of the island, which we could, if we kind of ignore either side of the island, end up with like a dead zone. That is, if you just ignore a section of the island and don't put anything there for the player to use or play with or jump on, then the player's just not going to go there. And it becomes a dead zone. It becomes an area that's least travelled. But this area here, we stop that happening by putting in a bridge. It's something that the player is going to want to do. If you have a bunk bed, if you've ever shared a bunk bed with a sibling or friends or whatever, you'll know that everyone wants to go up to the top of a bunk bed. If you live in an apartment, everyone wants the penthouse. Everyone likes to be up high, which is why we've put that bridge up high. We also have another one here, another bridge up here. So we need to create something that players are going to want to play with, but you are not the player's bestest friend. Don't just put everything on the island that you think the player wants. Make it difficult for them. Make it je ne sais quoi. What does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, here's a giant-ass shipwreck. What? That's everything that you said not to do. Yes, it is. Anyway, let's pop it into the ground. Because I don't want the giant-ass shipwreck. What I really, really want is just the mast, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to pop that down. There's a little bit of metal sticking up here. Oh, we could have that sticking up. But there's also a bit of... I don't know, what is that? Oh, railing. We could have the railing there. Pull it up a little bit. We start getting a bit of chimney. I'll drop it down. We've got a... I don't know what that is. Like a radar? Some sort of radar pickup. So I'll drop it down until it's under there. But what have we done? What have you done? What we've done is we have popped the entire ship under the island, so we just get the mast. The mast which very few people ever look at. I mean, you see it all the time, but you never really get up close and personal. Now we have an up close and personal mast, but where's the rest of the ship? Oh, my dudes. It's underwater. It'll still be here when you have your island and everything. And it's kind of terrifying because it's just kind of... Oop, slam the face into the sand once more. There we go. Yeah, it'll just be under the island. Now, I don't want to give the player this huge item with all of its treasure on board. I just want to use a little bit of the ship just to add a little bit of decoration. Now, we can maybe can that over a little bit. There we go. There we go. Terrain objects, so we don't have anything selected. And we just have this curiosity. We have this thing that's poking up out of the sand, but it's not going to give them a bunch of treasure. The reason we don't do that is because we already have this. We have the main focus of the island. The main focus of the island is this giant cave, and we want it to be, or stay, the main focus of the island. What we don't want is to take away from this in any form. And having a giant shipwreck like this would definitely take away from it. Anyway, what we're going to do is head up terrain, and we're going to remember that these 3 brushes are the very things of your nightmares. You thought it was a wolf. Wait, what? I was going to go with a Peter and the wolf thing, but then I just kind of stopped. Anyway, the amount slider, it is inherited between these 3 brushes. It is a pain in the ass, and there is no Control Z, there is no undo. Raise and lower, set height and smooth height will be the bane of your existence. If you were smoothing the island, you're just like, oh, I want to smooth things up. Yeah, you can do that. You can absolutely smooth things down. It won't stay smooth. I will say that because there is a bug in the PC version of the game where you can smooth the sand off as much as you like, but one of the big issues is that as soon as you come back into the game, save and reload the map or pop the map into the normal world, all this lovely, delicate sand that you have carefully brushed back is going to look like polygonal butt. What? It's gonna look like a butt from the like a 90s video game. It's gonna be pointy. That's what it's gonna be pointy. Anyway, we'll smooth all this off. I mean, you still got to do it. Still good to do it. But with this amount slider all the way up, if we were to hit raise and lower, and I was to hit lower, I would punch a hole straight through the center of the earth. And that's where the dinosaurs live. We don't want to do that. We don't want them back again. Which is nice. We have this little device here. I want to raise the sand up on the outside though. Look at this. I mean, it's a fairly shallow shelving beach. But what I'm going to do is retrain paint height and just take it from just at the waterline. I'm going to make sure the amount slider is all the way down. And I'm going to brush this out a bit. It's not doing much, so I'm going to crank the amount slider up a little bit. There we go. We can see stuff happening underwater. But because we have got the we've got the read terrain paint height, it can only go as high as the target value. I just want a bit more beach, you know? I just want a bit more sand. So I'm just clicking, I'm going to look up at the sky, praise the sun, because if we don't, the shadows don't lock properly. I mean, whether I turn this on or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's what she said. But with the amount slider down, we have raise, and then we can just push along here. Okay, it's nice. That's nice. It's nice. We're just adding some thickness to the old sandbar here. And yes, you can kind of tell where the water is because of where the caustics are if you have caustics enabled. Caustics are the little light reflections under the water. It's not a reflection, it's a separation of sunlight as it goes through the wavelets. Yes, thank you, me, I guess. Yeah, you also get chromatic aberration, usually. Can we see chromatic aberration here? Is that going to work? Let's turn that off. Yeah, objects. Yes, sort of. The chromatic aberration is red-blue, I think. That's where the white sunlight splits, as if it's going through a prism. You get a little rainbow effect, but you can't see that on YouTube because this video has ass compressed off of it. Anyway, we'll go back to terrain, go back to the cog, display ocean, turn it back on. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. There's so much more beach to play with. It is. Now we can raise and lower a little bit. What was that noise? Well, it was going to be onomatopoeia of like chonking the slider down, and then words happened, and I'm like, I don't even know what happened. I'm going to have a smaller size. We're using the soft brush, but why would we want anything other than a soft brush? Push this a little bit. It's here so we get a little bit of water. There we go. Smooth it off with the amount cranked up a little bit. Wait for those bubbles to disappear. I kind of want a little bay thing. We're going to grab some rocks. Of course we are. We have the container ship selected. Yeah, I don't want the container ship selected, but we're going to do what we did over there. We're going to use these rocks to edge ourselves a little reason for the sandbar to exist. Because the sandbar, it's just a bit of sand. Why is it here? What is it doing? Well, if we add rocks to it and we brush around the rocks, it does kind of look like the rocks then have an effect on the sand itself. It doesn't, but that's kind of what we're going for. Here as well. Now what we can do over here is we can use shoreline rock. Actually, no, what we can do here is terrain and then smooth. Okay, it's got a weird... It's very strange. I'm just going to crank that up and just smash the size up as well. And just brush this smooth. This is big old hill in the middle of this little sandbar. I'm like, that's fine. Let's smooth it off. I'm going to smooth it off. And then remember that it just doesn't do anything, really. Good. That's smooth off. And then we can use our shoreline rock. There we go. How do we want it here? That's a real question. I'm going to... I think we can use it over here, which I'll do. The reason I'm not going to put it here is it just doesn't look right. And if something doesn't look right, if something in your back of your brain is like, I don't think that's right somehow, then don't do it. It's like going into the deep dark forest by yourself. Sometimes it just doesn't feel right, so don't do it. You might meet an ogre or the big bad wolf. What if you got the Peter and the Wolf? Is it Peter and the Wolf? I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. It's stuck in my head. It's all right. Anyway, we're just gonna grab some rocks. I think this might be a bit of a chunky rock. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna get rid of you. Let's use a smaller, thinner rock. Ah, oh, that's definitely a smaller and thinner rock. Cool. Let's rotate it around and up. And what are you doing? I am transforming it and positioning it in such a way that if someone comes along here, they might get the urge to leap off of it into the sea. Which is why I need a sort of one that kind of looks a bit like a springboard. There we go. There we go. Neat. That is kind of neat. It's all the little things that you add to the world that players like. I don't know if this is supposed to be like this, but I'm definitely going to use it like that. And then what we're going to do is we need something around here to just kind of give it no, I want the small rock. Give me the small rock. Because it's just kind of jutting out from the land. We need something to anchor it in the world. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. Yeah, I want to avoid it looking like anything in particular. You want to avoid it looking like a giant... Yes, that's what I want to do. I don't want to accidentally make something look a bit too... human. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah, you gotta keep these things in your mind. Amount slider all the way down, size all the way down, retrain paint height from this bit of wet sand here, and then just gonna brush it out into the rock. Oh, I didn't think of that. No, that's why we're here. I'm just brushing out underwater. We'll grab the smooth, and then a reasonable amount on the amount slider, and then smooth that back. There we go. There we go. That's nice. There's a little shallower underwater. Now I don't want it too many rocks along here because you might be trying to land a raft being chased by a shark, and then you'll be sad because your raft just hits a rock, and then you don't get to land on the beach. But wait, is there more? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the reason I'm looking at these little rocks is because I need some more stuff here. Let's do a little rotate, a little transform. Is it going to look right? We don't know. Of course, this is going to have a little bit of grass texture on it. Rotate. There we go. Transform, bring it up a little bit. Neat. Neat. Good. Now what we want to do is add a bunch of trees and things here, but what we don't want to do is distract from whatever is going on here. We can move this around fairly easily at the for the time being. And I'm going to put it so that guy rope is just close enough to that rock to make a difference. Good. Now, why are we adding this thing here? Well, because we've got these metal walkways. It looks like humans have had an effect on the island. We've got walkways, we've got little pillars and things. In order for this to make any sort of sense, we're just adding things that make it look like humans have been here, but not rewarding the player by giving them a bunch of stuff that they wouldn't otherwise have. Now we've got to check. Make sure that the bow of the boat isn't sort of sticking out underwater, which it's not. And then we're going to have to check and make sure, because this thing will have red containers on it, the red containers don't pop up everywhere else. Anyway, we're going to need some trees and things. And we haven't actually used any of the pine trees. I know we have some over on the other side, but we'll delete those at some point and just reposition them. But it's very important to select your trees, Ficus Tree 1 and Ficus Tree 2. We know they cannot be destroyed by the player, which makes them incredibly powerful. How powerful? I'd say maybe Sauron levels of powerful. Oh, that is quite powerful. Yeah, you don't simply wander into a ficus tree. I'm going to move it a little way from this rock. And the reason I'm going to do that is just in case a player stumbles between the tree and the rock and gets stuck. You never want the player to get stuck. They'll cry and you'll be sad. R to... Oh, wait, no. C to clone. There you go. T to transform. And then once all of these objects have been layered upon each other, they become incredibly difficult to work out what's going on. Anyway, that looks a bit blurry. It's no longer blurry. It's kind of neat. I'll move that over. There we go. And we got to make sure we work out where the sun is going to be at any given time. If we select the other item, other tree. Can we select the other tree? Is that even possible? Maybe. Well, we can give it a little... Yeah, we can. We've got to be very careful. If there's items in the background, sometimes you let go. And what happens? What happens is... this will jump to a different item in the background and you think you're moving something that you're working on, and in fact you're not. And that will make you upset. Good, we have another beautiful tree, thicker than just the single one you pull out the toolbox, but that's pretty decent to me. We have a bit of rock that you can jump over, and we have this over here. Neat. We also have this. What's going on here? There's a little nubbin of rock there. Just going to rotate that so that little nubbin of rock's gone. But wait, there's more! We haven't used any palm trees yet. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of holding off on that for the time being. What we can do, though, is we're just going to have to start throwing in like aloe and various bits and pieces. What we're going to do is come in, terrain, screw up brush, and then raise, make sure the amount is all the way down. And then we got a bit of size. Move that down as well. Just exploratory click, because I want the sand to be up at the same level as this rock. Unfortunately, it starts getting a little bit difficult moving the camera around. Why is that? Because the camera's a pain in my butt. Oh. It'll be fine. We'll smooth all this off. And once it's smoothed off, then we can do a little retrain paint height from here. Maybe change the amount up a little bit, like a pixel. That's better. Oh, even a pixel is just too much, I think. It's fine. I just want the sand to be in this rock. And then we'll smooth it off. By smoothing it and painting it, smoothing it and painting it, you just kind of... you get the sand to be in the rock, and then the rock itself is the edge between what would be kind of a steep drop into the sea. Yeah, you kind of edge the little island. So this looks like it's a little further up, a little bit more mounded up, but it's being held by the rocks here. So the sand is being captured by the rocks. Neat. Oh, yeah, I thought so. Now we got this here. I think we need another tree or something over here. We'll go to objects. And I think we're going to need some more rocks. I don't know why I'm going down the trees route. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why you're going down the trees route either. Now, what we could do, instead of just chunking that onto the island, is putting that in here, giving that a rotate, and then just getting it so it's sort of save ourselves a little bit of work. Of course, we have to be very careful about the tide. We terrain and change the tide. The tide is out there and it's fully in here. So this rock is definitely not underwater. It's close, but not quite. Terrain, and then we will change this down, raise. I'm just going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to raise this into the rock a little bit. Why do you do that? Because it looks like the sand has blown over the rock. Oh, neat. Very neat. Good, excellent. Now we can just hit up trees, and I think we are going to need another. Let's close rocks for a time being. We are definitely going to want ourselves another fixture too. But isn't it too big? Isn't it going to hide all of this? No. Well, maybe. We can just jam this into the ground. It's not a real tree. It doesn't genuinely drink water, so it's not going to be worried about the salt. Grab this branch, the one that goes out over the old land. Hopefully this doesn't snap onto something else. It did. Oh. There we go. Every time I let go, it's going to snap onto this rock, isn't it? It is. That's fine. We can still select it just about. I want to be down here, and I want to be as if I'm running along the beach. There we go. So you're running along and then, ooh, what's this? What's this? What's this? Neat. We're building ourselves a little island. It's a curiosity, you see. I'm curious about it. We can go terrain objects, so we don't have anything selected. But wait, there's more. Of course there's more. Of course there's more. Is that what she said? I don't think she's going to say anything at this point. I don't think there's anything for anyone to say. Why we got the sharks open? I don't really want to pull the sharks into this. Anyway, what we do want is a little bit of rock. Now, we've got some rocks over there. We can actually just double these up. That would be fine. You just jam them together. Either to get more there. I was thinking maybe here, you know. Why here? Just so it's something you have to pass as you're going through. Oh, it just kind of breaks up the eye line. Oh, okay, yeah, neat. And then here, just kind of feels a bit empty right here. Terrain objects, so we don't have any selected, and then we're going to grab another big old rock. So we're going with a theme here. A theme? Yes. Yeah. Definitely a theme. I don't think that's a nice rock, though. Go away. Go away. We've got Big Rock 5. We never use Big Rock 5. Let's use Big Rock 5. Let's just rotate and bring it down. T, transform, drop it into the world. And then, oh no, it doesn't look very good. It's just kind of there. I know, right? Let's move it out a little bit. There we go. Terrain. We want to raise, make sure the amount slider is down. Be nervous about it. It will get us one day. I think it's got us before. I'm going to raise the sand up on this side of the rock, but not the other side of the rock. Look, a beautiful division between sea, rock, and sand. And we're going to make a little crescent here. Oh, that is beautiful. I know, right? It's almost as if we know what we're doing. But don't tell anyone. Because we kind of don't. I don't know. Yeah. So now we have, instead of having just a big beach that goes along there, we have this little curiosity. And we can kind of, I think I'm going to bring that out a little bit here. Just underwater, just a little bit. There we go. That looks a bit better. It looks a bit more interesting. Smooth it off, mount slider up, size up a little bit, smooth that off. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that looks so much more interesting than just a big old crescent. Much better. Beautiful, even if I do say so myself. But what about this? Yeah, what about this? Oh, I suppose we should put something here. Let us go to make out the structures. Oh, that actually works ridiculously well. And it's not what we're going to use, but that does work ridiculously well. I think we'll probably use the plane wreck somewhere. We could put a rowboat in. That's fine. What have we got in terms of shipwrecks that we can actually use? Not that. Ugh. This thing is a pain in the ass. There's never any good treasure on it. It's always quite deep. It goes too deep. Is that? No. Oh. This one's quite good. I don't want anything that's going to take away from the fact that we've... Well, you can't use that one anyway. I mean, this is fine. And we could jam it up on the rocks. But I don't really want to take away from anything that's here. You know what? That actually kind of works. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all up for this. Let's rotate it over, pull it back, T to transform, pull it down. It's sunk onto the ground. But doesn't that make it hard to get the raft here? Yeah, but you still got this big area of beach. Alright. And now we have a problem. Why? Because your player is going to be like, I want to go in here and look at all the treasure. But the treasure is kind of it's kind of difficult to get in here. So raise and lower, amount all the way down, lower. All right, size down as well. And then what we're going to do is just use this lower to excavate some of the sand out of here. But with the small brush, we're going to do it in such a way that some sand is left in here, but the sand is kind of removed. If the player comes in, that means they can get the treasure out of here, but not A, get stuck and get upset, and B, not have all of the treasure actually inside of the island mesh. There we go. So we jump up there, and oh, but what if you just turn the ocean off? Yeah, well, the shadows are, look, the shadows, they're not anchored. We have to praise the sun. Raise the sun, and then come back down. And then we can kind of see that the sand on the inside is actually lower than the sand on the outside. Wow, that's beautiful. Yes, what else? Also beautiful. So I'm going to raise the sand up along here. I'm going to keep the small brush. I'm going to actually put the amount slider a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Sometimes I have the cog selected, and it's a pain in the butt because the brush tool still looks like you're actually doing brushing. Sometimes you'll be clicking away and nothing will be happening, and that's the reason. Anyway, let's raise this up along here. Then we can read terrain paint height from here. Nope, read terrain paint height. Click on terrain to read height. There we go, there we go. Now we know. And then I'm just going to put some sand here. I'm just going to pull it out. Slightly large brush, because we can only go to a certain height. And then smooth that off. Crank it up, crank the size up, and then smooth it off from the water side. Wait, what is this doing? This is... We're just raising the sand up a little bit. Mount slider down, this down. We're just kind of raising the sand up so it looks like the boat is actually having an effect on the sand underwater. Is this genuinely something that we have to worry about? No, genuinely not. Display ocean off. It's just kind of a cool little thing. Hopefully, we go back in here. We haven't messed up the sand height, which we have not. Come out. But wait, there's more. There's always more. Objects. I'll slam a rock in the side of it. Why? Because I like doing that sort of thing. Big rock. Yes, please. Just gonna put it underwater and nudge it up real close. There you go. Kind of looks like the boat has sort of nestled there and sunk. But, wait, is there more? Oh yeah, we're going to lower this bit here. Amount a little bit up. And I just want it to be a lot lower. Whoop, a lot lower. Just in a bit of a line from the back of the boat. Oh, we don't need to be too worried about smoothing the beach or the sand underneath the water. But there we go. Just to dig a little trench along here. Okay, so is there something along? Oh, there's a little trench now. Then the boat. Hang on a sec. Hang on a second. No, praise the sun. Right, so we have the boat, we have a little trench, and we have the rock. So it looks like the boat has had an effect in the world. It does though, doesn't it? Yeah, it's subtle and most people are just going to miss it, but whatever. Whatever. We have a beautiful little island. It is beautiful. It is a little island. You can jump off into the sea here if you want to. Yeah, you can. You can absolutely do that. Now, we're probably going to raise the sand up around here. Should probably... I mean, I would normally leave the palm trees, but I kind of want to put some palm trees here. So we will go to PALM. We have 4 palm trees. Palm tree, palm tree, palm tree, and palm tree. I'm pretty sure in the past these would have been labelled, but if we put the smallest one here and move back a little bit, the top disappears. But wait, the top disappears. Yeah, if we get close, boop, the top comes back again. Why? Because it's broken? It's just because it's broken? Anyway, I'm going to put the palm tree there, drop it down a little bit, hit R to rotate, and just give it a spin. And drop another one next to it, which is a slightly smaller size. Spin T, drop it down a little bit. Why do you drop it down a little bit? Oh, just so it actually just so it's actually in the ground. Same thing here. Just drop it in the ground, give it a spin, and then another big one here. Do kind of like putting them in pairs. There we go. Little bit of green. That's nice. That's very nice. Do we want one here? We could. But can't the player just demolish the palm trees? Yes, they can. Is there a reason that you would allow them to do that? You've been very careful to put in the ficus and everything. Yes, we have, but I don't want too many there. Let's use a smaller one. Little spin, T down. Okay, cool. Yeah, we just have to accept that at some point the player might come along and deforest their own island. It's just something that's going to happen. Structural trees, the ficuses and the pine trees, you put in knowing that the player can't do anything about them, and that's very good. I mean, that's excellent. But things like the palm trees, you can put them in like a decorative way, which I would still do. But just know that at some point the player is going to gremlin the island and absolutely destroy everything that you have spent ages creating. I just want the camera to be just smooth, you know? I'm going to put in a little rock there in order to put in a little bit of acacia. Have the leaf over the top of the rock. There we go. And then do something over here. Boop. Acacia. The nana. We could put a nana. We could put a nana plant. I wonder if we can select it now. Now that it's not touching anything. Yeah. I don't really want... It's fairly easy to select as long as you don't have it touching a rock. What witchcraft is this? I don't know, let's move it in a little bit. And then... Oh, it's getting dangerous. Getting a little dangerous. Okay, cool. Just a little bit of greenery here and there. Maybe something here as well. Terrain objects. We could put an aloe plant. Which, in fact, we will do. I don't mind putting plants, yuccas, and the like around. Mostly because you can, once you've harvested them, they don't grow back anyway. So it's not so much of an issue. We'll probably put fruit and everything in later on. But what we can do is... we got the ceremony too. I do like that. A little bit of leaf action with the old... It does look like an arum lily in the middle. And of course, lilies are where we get... No, it's not lilies, it's orchids. I'm thinking the wrong plant. Orchids is where we get vanilla from. It's the orchid seed pod. Oh, alright, neat. So we have ourselves a little island. It kind of started out bare and barren, and now we have an island. We're going to need to come back to this and do more stuff to it because, well, that's what we need to do. We have some interesting things. We've got a shipwreck, we've got something to jump off of, we've got something to look at, we've got some lovely trees, but yeah, we're going to need to put some stuff here. But what we are going to do from this point on is just save the island, go away for a few days, and let our subconscious work on this. Because it's too easy to think, oh, I just need to put as much stuff on this island as possible. I need to get the island done, and you can burn yourself out very easily. If you take your time, if you relax, if you just take it bit by bit, and allow your mind to work on the island, it makes it way more fun, way more interesting. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend just relaxing, taking your time, and playing with things. We have a mast on our island. The rest of the shipwreck is underneath, and it's not doing anything. It will never do anything. But I'm going to leave it there for the time being. If you like these videos, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you want notifications, dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell. And I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.